Welcome back for another book review. Today we're talking about this one. So this is Sacred Nature, Restoring Our Ancient Bond with the Natural World by Karen Armstrong. So this is not really what the thing is, when I get the books from the library, I don't actually read the descriptions, and it's a stupid reason. You have to click on it. It's an additional click, and it doesn't populate on the main page when you look at it. You always have to hit more information to see any description of a book. So 100% I judge based off of the cover and the title, and it's free. It's the library, so like I don't really care. Like if I hate it, I can just return it. So I don't do a lot of digging. I'm just like, oh, well, it popped up with what I was looking up, so I'm just gonna go with it. So I didn't know what I was getting into, but this wasn't what I was anticipating. So this book goes over, again, not what I was anticipating. So it's written from a nun. Yeah, I know. So it's about a nun's perspective of like kind of the main world religions. So I actually wrote them down to make sure these were like kind of the main ones that she talked about. So you have Judaism, obviously Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism are like the main ones that she talks about. And throughout this, it's how each of these different religions had a sacredness in nature, and that kind of over time we've lost that connection. And it's like, getting to the point of the review, I actually liked it. So like, I gave this one a 4 out of 5 star, and like, it was good. I didn't anticipate it, but like, genuinely, how did a nun write this book and I liked it? Like, it didn't feel overly Christian, which was surprising. Again, written by a nun. But like, it's so interesting. And it's one of those that like, it doesn't really relate to my life. Obviously, being a pagan and a witch, like, our connection to nature's pretty self-evident, right? Like, we're kind of the earth-based religions, you know? Like, we're really big on like, connect with plants and rocks and things. And like Christians and others are like, the book though, that's what you should do. And we have this huge disconnect, and it's interesting to see her perspective and her way of writing about how to reconnect to nature. And it was fascinating. And it's one of those that it's like, I could see gifting this to certain people that I know that are Christian, of like, this is why we view nature as sacred, in your words though, not ours. Because like in witchcraft terms, it's going to be very different of why nature's sacred. This puts it in a very different perspective. It was really good. Like, I'm very surprised that I liked it. Again, wasn't anticipating a book written by a nun. So obviously I would recommend this book mostly as like a gift kind of a book, or if for whatever reason you're Christian watching my channel, hello. But like, if you are Christian, or you know someone who's mostly Christian, again, coming from a nun, like if you are curious about how to find the sacredness in nature in these main religions that I mentioned earlier in the video, that's what this book is for. Again, it's one of those books that like, it's just like, there's certain books that are just good as like a gift giving book. I don't know how helpful it would necessarily be unless you are like, you know that you're gonna have this conversation on like a regular basis. And like, you know that you've got family that are, again, Jewish, Muslim, Christian. I feel like Buddhism typically is like kind of chill with whatever. And like, I don't know a whole lot about Confucianism. I don't know that I've ever met anyone who follows that belief system, but I've stumbled across a couple Buddhists, and obviously Christians, that's an easy one. I've met a few Muslims and a couple Jewish people. And so like, you know, it's one of those books that it's like, if you know that you're going to interact with those faiths very frequently, and you want to kind of open that, you know, like, it's one of those books that it's like, if I met a lot of Mormons, because that's where I live in Utah, that's what we have. So like, if the Mormons are like, but why are you sacred? Like, why is nature sacred? This is a good book to be like, in your language, like your spiritual language, here's why. Like, it's a good book for that reason alone. So anyways, my battery's gonna die, so I'm gonna end this here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons, and until next time, blessed be.